Hey everybody, it's Steve and Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief for April the 5th, 2011. I'm sorry, I can actually have a reason for not being, making mistakes today, so you don't.
For not exactly being cogent and lucid.
Yes, which is, some would say that's normal, but,
So why don't you show off your war wound, Hudson?
Right now it's just all bandaged up. I gotta go down later and get the proper bandages for it, but yeah.
And what happened to your horribly disfigured elephant man arm?
I burnt myself last night pulling some stuff out of the oven, and it's to second and third degree burns on my wrist and forearm, so it's...
See, he says it was pulling stuff out of the oven. I'm hyper convinced that he was just superheating the lube. Because if you look at Hudson's Twitter stream, he goes on about hot grease. Yeah. And then he changes his story later on to olive oil. Not grease.
Are you done?
No. Never done. Never done having a go at you.
So how do we get on with the headlines for today? Should we do that?
How about I just give out one little PSA that's been seriously pissing me off?
Okay.
First off, folks, if any of you know any reasonably good... Actually, here's a challenge. If any of you guys out there run hosting services, contact me and tell me what you do, because I'm pretty much thinking I need a new host now for about 9, maybe 10 sites. And
I told you who to get a hold of.
No, I need somebody with distributed hosting. But basically, the ones I'm dealing with at the moment, I'm not going to give out their name because I'm still dealing with them. That'll all be revealed later. But when you get on with tech support and they don't understand the basic fundamentals of caching, there's something very, very wrong.
So there you have it, folks. Give Paul a helping hand. Drop us an email at podcast@winextra.com, or do you have an email address for him to...
No, that one will do. Or, drop us a mail or a text or something at 251-281-8730. It'll be much appreciated.
Anyway, okay. First up, Windows 8 to get a native PDF reader.
Yeah, something called Modern Reader. It's going to appear in Windows 8. It's part of the new application model called Jupyter that Microsoft is doing under Silverlight development. So that basically, much the same as with Mac and Apple and the App Store, you get this one type of package that you can just download.
They're going with AppEx is the application extension.
Yeah, exactly. And this should also be available. Well, not should also be available, but this should make it really easy for developers because they won't have to worry about third-party implementation of PDF support and that sort of stuff. I'm wondering though, is Microsoft rolling their own support a la a lot of open source PDF readers, that sort of thing, or do they have a licensing agreement with Adobe for this? I don't know. Just like the zip integration inside Windows.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever pay if that's like their own implementation
because you can get public zip libraries.
Yeah, and you can get public PDF libraries too, even though PDF is a proprietary format. Yeah. So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's only from what I understand, it's only a reader. It's not a writer or PDF creator.
No, they would need a licensing agreement with Adobe.
Well, that's what led to the whole problem with the last version of Office that they released, because they had the ability to export a document to PDF, and Adobe says, no way, you owe us money. You want to do this? But
anyway, go on.
This, as an ex-developer, I'm actually, this whole AppEx package distribution for applications is really interesting. It's almost got me, curious as to what because of Silverlight and all the work that's going into it, and the Windows Presentation Foundation for PF programs. there's some awful interesting stuff happening on the developing end of Microsoft again. And it's been a while. It's been a long while.
Well, it's going to be interesting as well now to see, because this is all actually based around Silverlight. It'll be interesting to see what happens in mid-April now as well, when we get the next beta of Silverlight.
Yeah, Mary Jo Foley has it up today. Microsoft has confirmed the Silverlight beta to ship in mid-April.
Yeah, so this will be the beta for Silverlight 5, which of course is going to intensify, I can only presume intensify the rivalry between the Silverlight and HTML5 camps within Microsoft. Now, while we know the beta is coming, we're very sparse on what is coming.
One of the most interesting keynotes that everybody's kind of looking forward to at the Mixed conference is going to be the one with Scott Guthrie and Joe Bellafiore. That's going to be a doozy of a keynote.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, I think Microsoft is a big enough company that if they can get over the sort of internal squabbling to realize that, HTML5 is not the answer to everything. It has its place, but as a standard, it's not even a standard right now.
Yeah.
It's got a long way to go yet.
I think the biggest hurdle Microsoft has to get over, to be honest with you, is the fact that the Windows team holds as much power over the company as they do. Because if you've got a project happening and when the Windows team figures it's at odds with what they're doing, you're done. You're toast.
Yeah. And one of the other problems as well is that they will state that they're going, not just the Windows team, but various teams within Microsoft will state that they're going to work on a project.
Yeah.
And they might have plans to do this for months or even, but that then precludes anybody else from working on it because they've laid claim to it, like a sticking their stake in there. Anyway, moving on. More new Windows 8 stuff leaking out. New Windows 8 activation program, BIOS activation.
Yeah.
Version 3 of what is currently in place, which is called what's
OA.
it called? It's just called OA.
OA, which is the OEM what's that OA stand for?
It's probably just OEM activation.
Yeah.
But basically what it is this first came out in Windows XP, which is where you have master keys, so that when they ship all the computers, they're all basically using a master key, and that's what the OEM uses to install, so that they don't have to put in hundreds and hundreds of keys, and these keys then are locked to a certain BIOS configuration. So there's a key for Asus, there's a key for Dell, etc., etc. But of course, these things have been regularly and easily cracked. I mean, the one for Windows 7 was cracked before it even launched. So this version 3 that we're going to see in Windows 8 is supposedly going to fix it so that it can't be cracked, but Microsoft won't be holding breath on that one.
Good luck with that plan.
So we'll see that soon. Now, sort of moving on to sort of stuff that we can actually talk about that's got teeth in it. What's his name? Stephen Toulouse, the executive director of Xbox Live, has had his Xbox Live account and his blog under Hack Attack.
Yeah, I was actually I follow this gentleman, Stephen. His Twitter is at Step2, STEPTO.
Yeah, he's also known as that on Xbox Live.
And I follow him on Twitter, and I was it was over the weekend this was going down, because I started seeing him posting tweets about having to deal with network solutions to get his domain back, blah 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 blah. But I didn't realize that this was what was causing the problem. Yeah,
apparently some 15-year-old who calls himself
Predator.
Very sort of original game handle there. But apparently this kid has been banned 35 times from Xbox Live and decided, you know what? I'll get myself banned again.
Yes, I'm an idiot.
It's just that bloody smart. Anyway, so he gets himself banned and then decides to target Toulouse and posted a video of his exploit on YouTube. It's already been pulled from YouTube, otherwise we'd be showing it. But basically the highlights of this is he doesn't really, you don't really get to see very much, but he's one emotionally charged kid with a lot of expletives in his vocabulary and a lot of heavy breathing. But yeah, the kid claims that, there was a lot went on behind the scenes as well. There was a lot of phone calls to Toulouse and a whole lot. Yeah. The kid claims that he was just trying to reach out to Xbox Live and this sort of stuff. But Toulouse came back with some of the conversations that were left on his voicemail. And in an interview with Joystick, he turns around and he says, I have a 6-minute one where he and his predator and his friend discuss all the different ways that they're going to have sex with my wife. That might be slightly more than just reaching out to Xbox Live.
I think that's kind of a chargeable offense.
Well, he's 15.
Yeah.
So maybe he's of the impression that I'm 15, I'll do a week in juvie and you can't touch me.
Yeah.
But this goes beyond harassment at that point.
Yes, it does.
But you know what? I hate to say it, I'm an Xbox Live gamer myself, but Xbox Live is full of douchebags.
Yeah.
Seriously, and cheaters and hackers and pricks. And it's not a nice place to be on. I mean, when I have the kids here, I don't let the kids on Xbox Live. Simply, I just don't.
Yeah.
Because if anybody has a headset on there and they're talking, you have no idea what they're going to say, and it is vile and vulgar, and it's not a family-friendly place, which is weird because Microsoft is trying to promote it as a family.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we might see a spring cleaning one of these days of Xbox Live. If they come up with reasons why they're going to do the spring cleaning. Well, yeah, true enough. But
because let's be serious, right? You can't, unless they monitor what everybody says and scan, Big Brother style for keywords and stuff.
I'm not on Xbox Live. I don't have an Xbox. But do they not have a moderator flag or a button you can press to report abuse? Yeah,
but you have to do that after you exit the round. So let's say I'm playing. Well, I play Call of Duty, not what the kids play, obviously. But if I'm playing Call of Duty and somebody's been an absolute prick, I have to wait until the round is over, find their username, and go back. Go into the list that I've played with, and then report it. I can mute them in game. Well, generally, what I have to do when, I don't let the kids play. I just don't let the kids play online because of it. But when I'm doing it myself, often I find myself just muting everybody before the round starts, so you don't have to listen to them, But that's not always then I suppose the only way really to get around it is be in party chat all the time, which is different to the game chat, where you're just on with your friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's not a nice environment in that respect. Not an environment I wouldn't let my kids play Xbox Live unsupervised.
Yeah. We got some feedback for a couple of stories we've done here. JDog C via SMS regarding the IE9 Windows Update download. He says, if consumers want IE9, they can go download it from Microsoft's website. Who waits for Windows Update to deploy updates to update software? Answer, morons. Plus
then, JDog, before you go on with the rest of what he said, I just addressed that point first. Then 99.9% of Windows users are morons in that case. Because here's the thing. The vast majority of people don't know that IE9 is out there. It's just their browser to them. The people who use Firefox are either the people who are on the really geeky end of or Chrome, are the people who are early adopters, technology people like us who are on the far end of the scale, or people who have had it installed by me. Like if I do tech support for my friends, I'll go and I'll install them, and then they just get the pop-up. So yeah, most people actually wait for their updates to come through Windows Update because they don't know it's out there.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them morons, that just makes them normal with lives.
Plus, he goes on, plus the 64-bit edition of IE9 absolutely sucks. That's because only the 32-bit edition got the new engine. So from that perspective, Microsoft is stupid.
No. Microsoft was actually very smart not putting the new engine into 32-bit, or into 64-bit, and here's why. None of the third-party supporters, or third-party players which you would need to have a successful 64-bit engine released or agreed to release their software in 64-bit form. So for example, you could have that engine on the 64-bit browser, but you'd have no flash support, you'd have no shockwave support, you'd have nothing like that inside the browser. And Microsoft made the conscious decision after talking to their partners to say, at this point in time, we'll introduce the 64-bit browser, but it's essentially running the 32-bit stuff inside it, because none of the third-party players are willing to release the 64-bit versions of the stuff that you need.
Yeah.
So there was no point in releasing it right now, because there's just not enough demand, and the time isn't right. But that will come.
Now finally, YouTube 14, via the YouTube comments for the show yesterday, about the Explorer ribbon. I don't mind it, but I'm not going to make up my mind until it is more refined. I'm sure it will be an option. It should be good for the average person that has used Office, but let's not forget, you tell it it's not final, it's hacked together and with placeholder icons.
Well, it's not exactly hacked together either if you consider this thing has gone out as a beta to OEM, so they're fairly sure, generally, as to, there might be some layout tweaks, color tweaks, maybe placement tweaks, but they're fairly sure that this is where they're going with things. So yeah, this is reasonably, we won't call it final, but this is fairly close to what the end product is going to be. And I still have to say, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I'm not overly fond of it either. Okay, so if you have any comments about today's show's topics or anything we've done in the past, drop us a line at podcast@winextra.com, or in the YouTube comments, youtube.com/winextra, or in the comments here, or drop us a voicemail at 251-281-8730. It's open 24 hours a day, folks. Let her rip.
Yeah, you can also send us a text message to that number as well. And of course, we, as Hodson just said, Stephen just said there, podcast@winextra.com. You can always send us MP3s if you want to send us a voicemail that way.
Yeah.
That would work too.
So on that note, folks, have a good day. This has been Daily Brief for April 5th, 2011. I'm Steve. That's Paul. Have a great day.
Have a good one, folks.